On October 1, 2017, Catalonia's ex-CEO Carles Puigdemont unilaterally proclaimed autonomy of Spain, sparkling the nation's lowest constitution meltdown with 1975. It accompanied a plebiscite in the skittish area, recognized illicit by the government and courts, in that 2 millionth, mostly separatist fighter, voters took portion, in spite of enormous, and several say hard-handed, police force transactions to halt them. Key members of the autonomy motion include with been concluded, and Mr. Puigdemont has lost in expulsion in Belgium. But the meltdown has not lost off. A separatist fighter most once again holds influence in the Catalonian parliament or, in spite of more than reconciliatory color of Madrid, the Spanish by the government and constituency stay furiously opposed to a legislative voice on autonomy. Not amazingly, questions go on to vortex on the areas next. Could we one day see an freelance Catalonia, be it by legislative or illicit tool? And how would the new country supervise its economics, and in special its trade relationships in the otherwise of the planet? Catalonia has a lot departure for it economically. It has the highest GDP total national food of any of Spain's regions, in an economics on the amount of Denmark's. While it comes to trading, it punches over its way, too much. In 2017, its supply were cost Euro 71 bn, pound 63 bn, more than rather than a block of the domestic full, in cars, meal means, and chemical substances fare several of the means sent in another place. But which would occur to all of the exit if the area ruined off. Angelic Tavalera, conduct Eurozone political economist at Predictor Oxford Economy, says the transfer to autonomy would be comparatively smooth if it accompanied a juridically binding plebiscite. But the Catalonian political economist, who is versus autonomy, says the would be very hardly to occur, in the area lot more than potential to go out unilaterally, challenging havoc. First of all, he says Catalonia would collapse out of the Europe Association and go behind to trade on Planet Trading Organization rules in the EU and Spain, by far its two largest trading partners. Mr. Tavalera as well believes overseas invest would drop or, as we saw up recent October's survey, business community would start to move their staff for legislative reasons. In the center by the government provided a lot of liquidity position to the area, Madrid could as well close downward Catalonia's letter of credit link. It might as well unit de-entry to the EU, he adds. I believe we would see Catalonia fall in economic downturn during two-room. With the 2017 plebiscite down there include been warnings how the ambiguity above autonomy is suffering the travel production and characteristic marketplace. Really in June, the Catalonian by the government prediction Catalonian GDP increase would sluggish to 2.9% the year, downward of 3.4% in 2017, though how is in link in the domestic tendency. Lot economists, if for or versus autonomy, accept how and freelance Catalonia could include a vivid next one day its ructions in Madrid and the EU were solved. Transitions ever are poor, but in the length period and middle period the balance sheet of income and cost will be advantageous in Catalonia, says Professor Santiago Nino Becerra, a Profi Independence political economist at Ramon Llull College in Barcelona. Down there are about 300 academia teaching how and freelance Catalonia would be success and just 10 how say it wouldn't. Catalonian nationalists as well see the brief term ache of exit as a cost profitable to be complementary of Madrid's clutches. They claim Catalonia has ever had its own clear tongue and civilization and has been searching autonomy with the medium 19th age. They as well say the area pays more than rather than its equitable stake of revenue tax to Madrid, claims several economists controversy. At the spot while Catalonia reaches autonomy, the at first issue will be determination the sum of Spanish domestic obligation how belongs to Catalonia, says Professor Nino Becerra. In my type, Catalonia should not include to get any of the obligation since it has paid so lot already. All of the is cleanly hypothetic, of year, and lot commentators claim Madrid would never enable Catalonia to break down complementary, let one conduct a voice on autonomy. Polls as well propose Catalans are uniformly break on if to remain portion of Spain. Time schismatic parties include never reached more than rather than 48% of the famous voice. Yet, Professor Nino Becerra believes how Catalonia will ultimately break down off, and while it does both of the EU and Spain will changing their official position. A proclamation of autonomy does not requirement to be flash or forcible. It could be progressive, in the region receive more than independence before it doesn't do feeling to be portion of Spain over. In the newest volley in the legend, Catalonian CEO Quim Torra the 1 week endangered to remove parliament supporting for the minority group by the government in Madrid if it did not accept to grant an autonomy plebiscite during 1 monthly. Madrid quickly discarded the consumer demand but hinted it was outdoor to negotiations on more independence. "We don't take ultimatums," told Isabel Sila, a secretary and representative for the Spanish by the government. "Personality government affirmative, but autonomy not," she added.